second, which is I will be going to tackle the last two Chinese poets that are greatly known in Chinese literature. So one of them is Li Bai. So he had a lot of name, which is who is Li Po, Li Pai, Li Tai Fu, and Li Tai Pai. So there's a lot of name that belongs to him. Next, so who is Li Bai? So he is a genius and romantic figure. So he was a Chinese poet in Tang Dynasty, and his family name is Li. So generally, he was considered to be born in 701 AD, and he uh, he spent his childhood in Sichuan province. So he was married to the granddaughter of retired Prime Minister Su Yushi. Yushi. Sorry for pronunciation, I don't know. Um, nakakasunod ba? Dinig ba ako?
Yes po.
Yes. Next. So, he is known for his fondness for wine, his ability to improvise poem after drinking. So, who is uh, uh, a writer that also like drinking, or they are very they very drinking, like they love drinking, just like gagawa sila, ay inom muna sila bago gagawa, parang ganun. May kilala ba kayong author na naaalala nyo na writer pala, hindi author, writer na umiinom muna, or gusto yung pag-inom bago gagawa ng or magsusulat? May naalala ba kayo? I think wala kayo naaalala. So si Edgar Allan Poe ata yun, yung um, hindi ko kayo nakikita sa sa yung nagme-message siya Gmeet, hindi ko kayo nakikita. So Li Pai is he was very known for drinking wine, and he is very when he was writing, he need first to drink wine before write to poem. So next, eto, Emperor Mingwang. Here is a painting wherein Emperor Mingwang seated upon a terrace observing Li Bai to write a poetry. So that's why he was very famous in the time of Chinese literature. So it is even the emperor of the in that palace is like watching him writing. Just you know, like to parang pinapanood lang siya magsulat kasi ganun siya ka-famous in this era. So yung Tang Dynasty is like the golden age of Chinese literature. And next, so various nicknames capture his legacy. So one, immortal, because he really likes to drink wine, and poet transcendent, immortal exile from heaven, and poet knight errant. Next. So the characteristic of his poems is creative use of early styles. Yung early styles, yung like there's a painting in the there's a painting, then yung poem or yung poetry or yung poems, it was written in also in the I have here example. Here, may example pala ako. Like this. Yung poem is nakasulat dun sa painting mismo. So, one of the early styles of writing. Creative styles of writing. So, next, reworking of traditional. So, many poems satirize the world of phoning and hypocrisy. So, I think alam naman natin yung hypocrisy, yung parang it's something that they want to believe, or pero hindi naman talaga totoo, like that. So, show his rapport with nature and his love of wine. So that is the characteristic of his poems. So left behind, so 200 volumes of writing and 900 poems. So fun fact about him, he said that we should like take 300 cups of more than 300 cups of wine for daily basis. So sinabi niya yun like hindi naman 'di ba tama? And one of thing that so dahil nga what they call this, he likes drinking wine. So ayun din yung naging cause of death niya. So namatay siya sa excessively drinking. So nakakasunod pa po ba?
Yes po. Yes po.
Yes po.
Next. So I have here example of his writing or example of his poem. So it's very short. The title is White Night Thought. So I'm just going to read. Then if you have any thoughts about it, just say it in chorus or if you want to answer. So moonlight before my bed, perhaps frost on the ground. Lift my head and see the moon. Lower my head and I miss my home. So I give you a minute to analyze if there's anything that you understand about this poem or what it's pertaining to. Just read the poem if para ma-internalize niyo yung poem. So, I think, short lang naman siya. So, what do you think it pertains to? What is the, like, the meaning of this poem? What is what is, like, it's saying?
Can I try po?
Can I try po?
Yes.
I think
I
this
think
pertains to his late night thoughts about him missing his
him
home,
missing
like something like that.
Can you repeat again? Parang choppy ka, B.
Okay na po.
Okay na po.
Okay na, sige.
I think this has something to do with his late night thoughts
Late night thought.
about him missing his home.
Yes, right. So, thank you for answering, Miss Tindogan. So, this poem is pertains to someone like you just if you're going to bed, then just and you see the moon. So, like for example, it's a way that parang yung nagmumuni-muni. So, like parang kunyari, malayo ka sa family mo. This poem is pertaining to someone na malayo sa family niya. This poem is like reminiscing the moments that you like he misses his family, his home because nga malayo siya. So the moonlight, the moon, and while he was in his bed or her bed, and he remembered his family, he misses his home because he was far away from his home. So it's like nag-iisip or thought. So nag-iisip siya about his family like that. So I think clear na ba about what is poem? Ito. Kung ano to? Clear na po ba? Or do you have any idea or any interpretation about this poem? I think it's none. Wala nang masamasagot. Next is Tufo or Dufo. So Tufo or Dufo is friend. He was friend of Libay or Lipo. So So about him, so he was a Chinese poet also in Tang Dynasty, which is the golden age of Chinese literature. So was a greatest of the Chinese poets. He was called as the greatest of the Chinese poets. So he was little known but his work hugely influenced the Chinese and Japanese literary culture. So he was a poet historian and a poet sage. So as we all know, we have in Western literature, we have what they call this William Shakespeare. So the counterpart of William Shakespeare here in Chinese literature, Chinese literature is Tu Fu. So he was like called the what they call this Chinese. I forgot the term, but he was considered as the counterpart of William Shakespeare when it comes in writing poetry. So next, background. He was born in 1712 AD in Gongse, China. So he was born to a minor scholar official family. So when he was young, uh, his mother died. So after that, his father remarried and lived with his own for some time. So while he was growing up, he studied for civil service exam to become like his father as servant, but he failed. So you know, to in China, like the scholar, just to be able you to work in the government, you need to pass the civil service exam. Wherein, ito yung parang pinaghahandaan talaga ng mga um, um, yung mga upperclassmen. Kasi it's like the yung parang advantage, and also in that time yung pag nakapag-work ka sa government, like you mataas yung estado mo sa buhay. Like tinitingala ka. So here, so unfortunately he failed the exam. So after that, he spent many years traveling in Yangtze River and Yellow River regions. So he wrote poems about incidents from his travels, event, and his happy life. So he was died in 770 AD in Changzhou, China. So next. So his poetry um, talks about his life experiences. So the characteristics are loyalty, love for his country, dreams, frustrations, and sympathy. Like us when we are writing a poem, it's like difficulty about ourselves, right? Yung about sa sarili natin, about sa experiences natin, about sa nalalaman natin. So, ganun din si Tu Fu. His poetry talks about himself, his experiences. So, in his poetry, he introduces intense, dramatic, and touching of personalism. So, personalism, as personal sa atin. So, use symbols and images, irony, and contrast. We are very much familiar with that, so I'm not going to discuss it. So, an artist among poets, he considered to be a master. So, that's why he called as the greatest Chinese poet. Next. So, I think, ayun. So, The Little Rain by Tu Fu. So, who wants to read? Please, someone can read this one. Can I just call Shane? Can you read this one? If it's okay.
Am I audible po?
Yes. Thank you.
The Little Rain by Tofu. Translated by L. Crawford. Ano Okay. Who is good at who comment in the time of truth to aid the sun-grown seed? She wandered with a friendly wind through silent night unseen. The forest filled her happy tears, and lo, the land is green. Last night, cloud shadows gloom, the path that winds to my ado, and the torches of the river boat, like angry meteors, glowed. Today, fresh colors break the soil, and butterfly take wing. Down broidered lawns all bright with pearls in the garden of the king.
Thank you, Miss Lanusa. So, if you're going to read and analyze this poem, what do you think it talks about? It was very famous um, poem in the China because it used as the ginagamit siya as a teaching or ginagamit siya sa pagtuturo. So it was very some of the kids are very familiar about this poem because ayan. So what do you think is all about the literary? You have just analyze it and what do you think is the interpretation or if you're going to analyze it what is pertaining to?
Can I try po?
Yes, thank you.
So, while I was reading the poem, I think it talks about nature.
Yes, precisely. So, um, they are very Chinese literature is from what Miss Tim Dugan said. It somehow shows their love for the nature and also the from their own experiences. So, this little reign of Tupo is about the how um, did a rain comes into a like a town wherein wala talagang ulan. Kumbaga, hindi siya dumating. Kasi, parang tagtuyot. It's like dry season and hindi pa umuulan. So, like, here in this poem, like Tupo said, like, the nature is knows what we need. Kung kailan natin siya kailangan, kung kailan siya darating. Yung rain is specifically yung rain. So if like the love for the nature and also how the nature help us as a human. So that's why like ayun nga parang it's a the appreciation for the nature. So I think that's all for the our in this topic. So what guys, okay ba? Do you have any questions? So we have ano lipo and dufo or tupo. Lipo or libay or tufo or dufo. So there are two greatest poets. So I give you time for the quiz. So just review. Ano lang siya, maikli lang siya. Ano, pwede niyo siya, you can type it or just write any paper that you have. I think it's only contain five item quiz. So I give you 11:5 may quiz na tayo. If that's okay to you.